What is up, everyone? I have quite a few interesting pieces of news for you today. That is including some not very happy ones. But that doesn't mean we don't get to cover them. So, as usual, in case you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smack that little red button down below, and let's get right into it. So, the first piece of news for us today is something that isn't necessarily very happy, and that is that Oculus is now pretty much dead. Yes, I know I briefly touched on this in the past, but now it has actually started happening. Some people are now reportedly saying that if you open the Oculus app, it'll just say, "Bye Meta." My one opens too fast in order to be able to see that, but the app is still called Oculus, and this is where things become quite interesting, because while at the beginning we were told that Meta is completely replacing the Oculus branding, and in fact that is still what's happening, as you will see in just a second, the app stays the same. So will the Oculus name live on inside the app, or will the app slowly begin changing its name to Meta as well? Meta Quest 2 is already replacing the Oculus Quest 2 branding. A week on from its Connect conference, Meta is moving ahead with rebranding the Oculus Quest 2 as the Meta Quest 2. So you guys were wondering, how fast is this going to happen? How soon are we going to start seeing the Meta Quest 2 instead of the Oculus Quest 2? Which, by the way, according to me, the Meta Quest 2 is a bad name. In last week's keynote, CEO Mark Zuckerberg revealed that Meta is the new corporate name for Facebook. Almost all individual services under the company's umbrella, including WhatsApp, Instagram, and actual Facebook social platform itself, will get to keep their names. But just after the keynote, Meta's Andrew Bosworth revealed that the Oculus branding, covering VR products and services, would start to be switched out for the Meta branding. A lot of people were very unhappy about this, so essentially, yes, Oculus is dead. Yes, Meta is entirely going to replace the Oculus branding. Turns out, over time was just over a week. The Meta Quest 2 branding is already featured prominently in a new blog post on the official Oculus webpage. The post outlines a new installation of downtown Disney District at Disneyland Resort, showcasing Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge on the Meta Quest 2. Promotional art for the installation seen above also carries the Meta Quest 2 logo, despite the fact that the Oculus icon is front and center of the art. That's interesting. A lot of people are saying, you know, the logo on the headset and the name on the headset is still Oculus, therefore it's Oculus. But unfortunately, it seems like Oculus is moving ahead with changing their name to Meta. And as a person who grew up with the Oculus branding and kind of fell in love with the brand, I don't see why they needed to do that. I know people are saying Facebook decided to change their name because of bad PR, but where was the bad PR with Oculus? Why did you need to change a name with such a good history behind it? I don't understand, you know? Normally, if something has a good vibe to it and people like the name and people like the company, you're going to keep the name, but looks like that wasn't the case here, and unfortunately it happened a lot sooner than we thought. Even though, as Upload VR says, the logo of Oculus, the little O, seems to stay, and that's interesting. Actually, let me show you guys something. This is my very first drawing tablet. This is my sticker from my CV1, just back in the day. I don't know why I decided to show you this, but I don't know, I felt like it. But yeah, so this little O seems to be staying, at least for now. I mean, I would be very sad if they completely removed everything to do with Oculus, but I mean, the company stays the same. They're still the same headsets, they're still the same company, but I just don't understand why you'd remove the name. But anyway, let's move on to a better piece of news, a much happier one where there's some fixes. For anyone running Windows 11, which is including myself, you might have found that VR has quite a few bugs on it, which I actually didn't find, but a lot of people in the comment section were having quite a few issues with Windows 11 and VR, whether it was Virtual Desktop or Oculus Link. Well, good news. Windows 11 update offers Virtual Desktop PC VR streaming fix. A new Windows 11 update, set to be automatically installed on November the 9th, should fix performance issues when streaming PC VR games to the Quest via Virtual Desktop, according to the developer of Virtual Desktop. Early last month, we installed Windows 11 and tried out Oculus Link, the wired and wireless, as well as PC VR streaming via Virtual Desktop. We found that across the board, there were consistent issues with using a Quest headset on Windows 11. So that was for Upload VR, and that was really the case for quite a few people in the comments section who came out and voiced their concerns. But for me myself, I never had any issues with the Quest on Windows 11, and I've been running on beta since, well, beta came out. So I don't know, it seems to be quite different for different people, but that seems to be the problem with, you know, early rollouts and things will not work correctly at the very beginning. That's usually the case. But anyway, a fix seems to be rolling out very, very soon, and I bet a lot of people are going to be very happy about that. Let me know if you've been having issues with the Quest on Windows 11 down below. And another, according to me, fantastic piece of news. Meta plans to create physical stores and showcase headsets and glasses. I don't know, this gives me really, really good vibes. It shows you how far we've come. I mean, if we've gotten to the point where we can create physical stores just for VR for a single company, where people can walk in, look at the headset, maybe try it out before they actually buy it, well, that's going to increase sales even more. It's going to turn non-believers into believers. And we've gotten to this point, and for some reason, I imagine these Meta stores, these Oculus stores, oh, imagine how cool an Oculus store would look. I guess we won't get to see that. I imagine these Meta stores to look kind of like Apple stores. Very nice, very pristine, you know, with white headsets, even though I would prefer a black headset, but you know what I'm talking about. I can imagine the layout just being really nice, and it just puts a smile on my face to see that this is how far we've gotten, and we can actually do this. And again, it's going to turn a lot of non-believers into believers if they can try out the headset before they can actually buy it. It just really makes me happy. And the fact that we can try out AR glasses possibly in the future in these stores, that's really cool. Meta has been planning physical stores for more than a year, the New York Times reports. The purpose of these locations would be to introduce people to Meta's hardware, headsets, glasses, and portal video calling devices. The report doesn't mention whether products would actually be sold in store, but it sounds like that isn't the focus of the plan. I'm gonna be real with you, I would find it very weird if they didn't sell the product in store. I mean, if somebody is coming in, loving the product, why would you not give them the product right there on the spot? If somebody tries out the product and loves it, and they want to buy it right there on the spot, well, you kind of want to give them as little time as possible to think about it. I swear, I don't work for them. It would just seem kind of weird. Discussions about physical stores reportedly predated Facebook's rebranding by many months, so originally it seems like it was supposed to be an Oculus store, with serious work on the initiative starting last year. The report's sources say that the project is still in development, but isn't guaranteed to proceed. If it does go ahead, the stores could eventually span the world. Yeah, I don't know, I see this as something positive. Again, people see Meta, people see Facebook, and they're gonna hate it. They're gonna hate it. They're gonna hate it a lot. But personally, I see the positives of this. The expansion of VR and how many more people it could bring in. Let me know what you think about this one down below, and whether you would have preferred to see an Oculus store rather than a Meta store. Now, this is an interesting one. This is one that I find incredibly funny. US-based Meta company is to sue Facebook for infringing upon its name. So it seems that Facebook decided to change their name to Meta without actually checking if anyone else has taken the name before, or they did check but they just couldn't care less. Well, it seems that a company called Meta had already existed, and now they're trying to get at Facebook for taking their name. I didn't even know that that was allowed, to be honest. I thought that once a company has a name, another company can't change that name, you know? I thought that's what copyright was for. But you know, I'm not really educated on that side of things, so I could be completely wrong there. In an interesting turn of events, a Chicago-based tech firm called Meta Company is going to court against Facebook, saying the social network stole its name and livelihood after it rebranded its name to Meta. In a statement, Meta company founder Nate Skullick said that when Facebook failed to buy them, it aimed to bury the company by force of media. On October 28th, Facebook decided to commit trademark infringement and call themselves Meta, Skullick said in a public letter. They couldn't buy us, so they decided to bury us by the force of media. We shouldn't be surprised by these actions from a company that continuously says one thing and does another, Skullick added. So I don't know. Again, this seems to be something that I, again, didn't think could happen, but it's happening. And I just decided you guys might be interested in that. I wonder how this is going to go. To be honest, it doesn't seem like this company is going to back down, and I don't, again, know whether this is legal. I don't know whether this will cause Facebook to change their name again, to not allow them to use the name Meta, even though they are clearly continuously, I mean, judging by the public letter and the public release, Facebook knew exactly what they were doing. And if you ask me, they shouldn't have taken it to begin with. This could go a bunch of different ways, to be honest with you, and I'm very interested to see what happens. Let me know what you think about this whole situation down below, and please, if you know, let me know whether this is actually legal, because I'm just interested. And on a good side of things, just to end the video off on a good thing, Take-Two CEO now likes VR and suggests more to come post GTA San Andreas. So for those of you that don't know, GTA San Andreas is coming to the Quest 2, well, sometime in the near future. And we talked about this in the past, but the Take-Two CEO has said before in the past that he wasn't a big fan of VR and that it wasn't their main focus. It's funny to see how quickly things can shift. A year after Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick said he wasn't very compelled by VR, he now thinks it's really exciting and that the company may do more past the recent reveal of GTA San Andreas VR. So Take-Two is the parent company of both GTA developer Rockstar Games and 2K. Strauss, who was until now a longtime VR skeptic, was quizzed on his thoughts about the tech once more in a company earnings call earlier this week. "We've always said that we want to be where the consumer is," the CEO said. "And when VR first emerged as a potential technology, while I expressed some skepticism about it becoming a very broad consumer application, I also thought it was really exciting technically, and said that we would participate." You know, as I said, this really shows you how far Facebook has brought VR into the spotlight. The more people that can go into VR, the more companies will become interested. And this is a prime example of that. You know, if Facebook didn't make VR as cheap as it is, as much as you again might hate them, well, we would not have this many people in VR and much less companies would be interested. I mean, look at all the companies jumping onto the bandwagon now. And I'm so excited to see what Take-Two or what any other larger company does with VR in the future. This will certainly allow for much more AAA titles to jump into VR, and I mean, that's what people want. People are constantly complaining that it's not hardware that we want, it's the titles that we're missing. And it seems like now we might finally be getting them. Well guys, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic day or night. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you guys disliked it, I guess this button works too, but please tell me why down in the comments section below. Just a little announcement. Today, supposedly today, the channel is going to be going through a rebranding. So in case you guys are like followers of the channel, don't be surprised in case you see a new profile picture and a new banner. We're working on making things a little bit more professional now that we've surpassed 100K, and we're getting just that little bit closer to renting out a nice little studio. So I'm super excited for that, and I just want to say a huge massive thank you to everyone following the channel and just sticking with me. It means so much to me, and we have expanded so much. This would not be possible without you, so thank you. If you guys are not yet part of our community, make sure to join us by slapping that little subscribe button down below and by joining our Discord and Reddit, which are also down below. I want to see you posting your spice memes on there. Thank you so much to the Patreons supporting this channel. You guys mean a whole ton to me and have just helped me out so much during the last few months with paying my bills and just overall buying better gear and making the content better. So thank you so much. And if you guys want to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, we've got sick mugs down below that boost your FPS by 300% and merch that does not put a huge ad on your body. And if you guys want to be notified about future content coming up on the channel daily, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace.